Hello everyone and welcome back to Politics Now, where we talk about modern politics in modern America. And today we're going to be discussing why Trump really has the GOP nomination in the bag and is the most likely person to win. So yeah, let's get into that. So Trump has been doing very well in terms of his poll numbers ever since the first indictment, and his main competition, DeSantis, hasn't been doing too hot for the past week. So yeah, he doesn't really have any real competition, and his only actual competitor, but he's not really in competition with him because there's a 30-point difference between them. But DeSantis has been completely collapsing and burning. Third place is controlled by a Ramaswamy who pretty much just wants a cabinet position. He's not in actual competition with Trump over the nomination. He's more so shooting for that cabinet position and getting in the office one way or the other. So, honestly, he has nothing to worry about. If fourth place is the the first part of real competition and it's Mike Pence, you have nothing to worry about. DeSantis is collapsing, third place is controlled by your ally, and all the other places are pretty much irrelevant people who will never gain enough support to actually, win the nomination. So, Trump has been staying around 50% and he's been doing pretty well. And he's been dipping and then going back up and then going back up and dipping. It's sort of been stagnating around 52. He seems to have hit like the barrier with all the competitors and DeSantis taking quite a few votes, but it's been going down for a little bit. But he's still doing pretty well, and he's not likely to join the first debate, which will hurt DeSantis even more, because if Trump is in there, DeSantis is the main target, and everyone is going to be attacking him, which will more likely lose support for DeSantis. So Trump will most likely not join the first debate and just stay around 52. He might join the second one to finish the final blow on DeSantis and maybe get a couple of points through that. That would be a good strategy for him. But honestly, he could just never do any debate and just stay here and win the nomination that way. Because DeSantis, he's the only real competition, and he's not doing that hot. So, honestly, DeSantis has no way to win the nomination, and he's the main competition. So, if your main competition has no way to win the nomination, you pretty much have it in the bag. And unless something major comes out or some unforeseen controversy or something like that hurts Trump, it's not looking too bad for Trump, and he is most likely to win the nomination. Where pretty much if he just stays at the same level, he will win the nomination. He doesn't need to do anything to risk anything. He doesn't need to do literally anything. He doesn't need to say anything. He doesn't need to do anything. If he just does nothing, he will win the nomination. And DeSantis is currently doing nothing or doing the wrong thing, so that's why he's going to lose the nomination. And Trump, he pretty much has no competition at this point. None of these people are seriously in threat of taking the nomination. DeSantis was for a while, and then he got screwed over and just sort of collapsed immediately as the first indictment came out. And pretty much Trump is doing nothing, yet he's still gaining more and more support. It's sort of like the indictments are him doing nothing, but he still is adding support. The Democrats are sort of, with these bogus charges, just giving him support, which some people see who are like the DeSantis fanboys who will absolutely defend DeSantis till the very end. It's crazy how much they defend DeSantis. It's absolutely insane. But they're like they want Trump to run. They're doing this so Trump wins the nomination because they think that they can beat him the easiest, which a lot, yeah, some of them probably do think that. Does that reflect reality? No. And recently a lot of them have realized, oh, DeSantis is a lot weaker, so if we start attacking him like we did with Trump, will he gain a lot of support, and then we can run against a far weaker guy for the presidential nomination, and hopefully we can make DeSantis win, so we have a much easier shot at winning a second term for Joe Biden. So they've been focusing on bumping up DeSantis. It hasn't really been happening at all. They're more so just keeping him at 18 points, which is not going that well, and it's sort of it's just backfiring. It's very specific who gains from being indicted by the Democrats, and Trump has that buildup of the fact that he's been attacked by the media and Democrats for so long that it pretty much bounces off at this point. DeSantis hasn't had time to build that up, and he's also kind of hated by a lot of the Trump voters for joining in the race. So it's not like they're gonna change to DeSantis because Trump is getting more hate and is still getting an equal or more amount of hate, and DeSantis is the enemy to them. So why would you abandon your number one guy for the second guy when they're both getting hate from the media? It's just sort of a thing that happens when you're Republican. You just have to deal with it. So it's not bouncing off. DeSantis is not going to win the nomination. It's looking worse and worse by the day. And Trump pretty much has this all in the bag, and he could easily win the nomination. If we stopped the campaign right now and went through the presidential nomination, yeah, Donald Trump would win it. He would probably win a lot of the states. He might lose Florida, he might lose Utah, but he still probably could win those. But every other state would likely be Trump, and none of these other candidates really have enough support to win the other states. So, yeah, Trump pretty much has it in the bag. He can win it easy. He'll be fine if he just doesn't screw it up or doesn't do anything stupid. He could easily win. It's pretty much inevitable that he wins if there's not any issues with his campaign or issues that come up. He pretty much has everything in his power that he can win the nomination, and at this point DeSantis should just drop out. It's pretty much game over. It was game over when he announced, but it's not going too well. You just need to give up. You're not going to win the nomination. So, yeah, Trump pretty much has everything going for him, and Trump will win the nomination. So, yeah, if you think Ron DeSantis will win the nomination, leave that in the comments below. He probably won't, but yeah, see you guys. Bye.